Hey guys, this is Juno and welcome back to another account review. Today we are on Zenfart's account, a Europe server account, which looks pretty stacked already just from the profile pic. Why is my emulator so slow? A lot of gray LD5s, some that got buffed in this past balance patch and should be now in the game. Artemel, which I'm really curious on how people build him and use him, because I do think his buff was pretty significant. I don't think he'll be meta, but I think he'll be strong against certain teams. He'll only be stronger because I do think there are some people that still pulled him out and it still worked extremely well. There's also the Shazam. They got the better guild lead. And then he has like Ming and stuff. Sadly, Ming did get nerfed back then and isn't as OP as it was. Records show G3 arena in Europe, so that's actually a very big feat. P1 World Arena, P2 Special League. He is in the G3 guild. Tempo of Chaos G2, which is something that I didn't really get into. I think I just winged it and got P2 for the last one. Maybe I'll actually start building for it because I think whatever that new item is pretty big for a lot of players that is striving for a better rune. Very fast dungeons all around. 23, 27, 32, 42nd. Artifact stuff, great. He's only doing the original R5, which is with a 25-second run, which is great actually. He is doing the Dreaming Fairies pretty well, and also the Rune of Silent Death. He didn't have anything specific about the review. He wanted just an overall review where I think he needs to improve on to get a better record. Seeing his records, Arena doesn't seem like an issue. He probably wants to get a better record in RTA. That's the biggest part, right? Because he is in the G3 guild too, so I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a problem there. And being in G3, I don't think my opinion should matter too much. I do think it should be more of a guild thing. Discuss it within your guild. I do think your guild will give you certain directions onto building certain defenses and even offenses, right? So I don't want to really give you any opinion there because it could contradict what your guild is striving for. And again, I'm not in the G3 guild anymore. I just kind of follow it. So my opinion is not as up to date as the people actually competing there. Hey guys, before we start the video, if you guys are interested in getting advice and help from me and other Summoners War players, feel free to join my Discord, where the link is in the descriptions below. Also, if you enjoy my content and want to support me, become a Patreon. I want to say I appreciate all the support. Anyways, that was it. Let's get back to the video. Let's first look at his LD5s. Let's see if he has even more than what we see in his profile. Okay, Celestra. I believe this is the one that does more damage, right? I do like the other one, the Hilda. There is the Sigrid, the Kiara, both very great units for a cleave. He also has a Domain, which is great for RTA, the Ming, like I said, the Thabei, the Ragdoll. For light, he has the light Inosuke. He has the light Siri, Jessica, Veronica, which did get nerfed a while back, so the pick rate is definitely not as high as before. Narsha, Valantis, Shazam, Artemel. I do want to see him using Artemel. I wonder if he ruined them up for RTA, so I'm gonna go check that out because I do think this passive with a guaranteed critical hit is pretty big. Is he missing anything crucial? I'm pretty sure not. Yeah, I mean, nothing in the wind department. Nothing in the water department. Damn. Anything big here? I think he's only missing like the collab stuff in the collab form, but other than that, he has most to all of the more meta units or the crucial units that you want to be using. Great box, great toys. Let's go check out the runes because that's probably holding him back getting a better record. Swift, we'll look at everything. Sub property before grinding. 24, so no quad on slot 1. No quad on slot 3. It's actually, okay, not that quick either. But there's that quad that we want to see. Slot 4, 31. Another quad, another 31 on slot 5. And then no quad on slot 6. Oof, flat. 2 quads on Swift. Okay. Doesn't look like it's lacking too much in the grinds. I mean, I do like to give it legend for these as well, so it's debatable depending on what you prioritize, but that is what I did because I had an abundance of it. Vio, no quad slot 1, no quad slot 3, no quad slot 4, but it's a 29. This one a flat, ugh. Another 29, that's a crit damage rune. 28. 31, the first quad that we want to see. Another quad there, perfect. 2 quads on slot 5. Awesome. You do want to get a +5 there. You do want to get a +13 here. Here, another quad, so 3 quads in Vio. Unfortunate because 2 quads are on slot 5. I mean, that's not a huge deal, but you do want it in different slots so you can make a faster set overall. But not bad. I would like to see max grinds, max legend grinds on some of these other runes that have like 23 speed because I do think they're worth. Again, is what you prioritize, but that's just me. Will, quad there. So we are seeing a couple quads in each set. Like 2, 3. We already found the slot 1 quad for Will. Another quad here on slot 4. Okay, slot 5 is really slow compared to the rest. Wow. You might want to improve these. Yeah, this is bad. Compared to the rest for sure. Slot 6, a 29. Okay, 1 quad there. Despair finally. 27. You want to get that +5 there too. 32. Finally a more decent quad. Slot 3. 29. Ooh, a beautiful quad there. Damn, 34. And then 33, damn it. So 3 quads already. Slot 6 a quad, no quad there. Ooh, slot 6 looks a little weak. So if you want to improve in a set, I do think Will slot 5 and Despair slot 6 are in need of work compared to everything else. And just me, but at this point I think you should be farming a lot more R5, trying to get those legend grinds and gems to maximize these better runes. I think everything over a base 22 speed is usable in any level, to be fair. So if you have any extremely efficient +22 speed runes, I would give them +5s and legend grinds and gems to make as efficient as possible, because really not everything is going to be on 280 290 speed on Vio Will or Despair Will. I think they could all be easily usable on 260 270 up to at least G1 plus, maybe even G2. So I do want to see those runes being perfected. Arena, so we know that you got your G3 record. Interesting defense, but you do have Artemel here already. You did get ranked 12 with the 18% defense rate, very good victory rate. You actually didn't get hit as much, and you didn't hit as much too. But it looks like you, oh yeah, and then you got G3 again like 5 weeks back. So this also shows that now getting a G3 record can be more reliant on the league you're playing in. Certain leagues will be a lot easier and other leagues will be harder just because of the player base that gets assigned in that league. Let's look at these runes. Triple shield? No, double shield will. Not 100 res, not as tanky as I hoped for. Jessica, very fast. Maybe I should try Jessica on defense. Something like this. And then Artemel. Okay. Now I wonder if you could go a Despair a defense crit damage defense build. Get all that crit damage, because now you don't need crit rate really. Triton, not over 220. And this is getting a what? I mean, it's season F3 now, so we can't really say. But if he was using it last week, he only got a 4% defense rate. Okay, let's go to Siege and just take a quick look if he's in G3 right now. Yeah, okay. Ooh, rank 27. Wait, does that mean that he got into tournament? Oh yeah, he was there. They actually beat round 1. They got into round 2. Good for them. I don't know if their defense has changed. So I don't want to be exposing anything, right? So I'm not gonna look at the runes. I'm gonna actually cut out the part where I looked at the defenses so that I'm not exposing anything. Let's just go into RTA. He's in P2 right now. He has a 52% win rate. He is playing actively, 500 games in, almost 600. And his pass record was actually really low. Ooh, he's been stuck in C2 for a while. His win rate did start decreasing up to the 50% mark, so it means he had a hard time getting out of that rank. Let's see if he ruined the auto mail. That's the only one thing I'm really curious about. Oh, I see it. Okay, let's just go through this. Wow, Sigrid plus 224. Now the thing is, I'm not a big fan of these because unless you have godly Swift runes, just due to the meta right now, like water monkeys being so popular, it's really easy to outspeed these things. I mean, if you pick and ban well, you could play this, but if you don't, then I think you just get outsped after in the Punisher rank. Meaning, ooh, very slow, but high attack and decent HP. It's just that Ming after the nerf got much harder to rune with high HP, so his survivability died, and I think that's the biggest issue. Before you're able to build him much tankier because his passive had a lower threshold, but now that condition is harder to meet, you have to give it more attack. As a result, you're ruining it a lot squishier. Okay, a Swift, oh, Violent Will Vanessa, wow, that's 294. Damn. Shoot. Narsha. Okay, so first turn defense break is what he's going for sure. I thought it was going to be on Swift, but he actually invested a Vial set. Like, that's a very decent Vial set onto Vanessa. But accuracy is a little low, don't you think? You're giving the same artifact you're using for Arena. I think you need to give it like 20% plus. You don't have anything. 16, 18. I mean, even the 18 is better than what you have right now. I think if you really want to use this as a first turn stripper, it needs like, for me, like 50% to be fair, but I know everybody has a different standard. Narsha, Violent Will, Kiara also very fast. Masha, yeah, he's definitely a first turn player, right? You guys could tell. Ethna, that's not on Will. I like everything on Will because I know that sometimes I can't outspeed. So, yeah. Savannah not being used. Zenitsu via Will. I wonder how he's using him. Megumi via Will. Venhan via Will. I do want to test my Venhan. I have it ruined up. It's on the crit rate build as well. So yeah, we'll be seeing a video on it soon. Thankfully it didn't get touched. Chakra, Swift Will. Okay. I was assuming this was Despair and I was like, damn, that's a crazy Despair set, but no. Shizuka very slow, I guess remaining runes. Oh, it's not even being used. Josephine very slow, not usable in Punisher. There you go. There you go. So he did make 100 res, no crit rate, high crit damage Artemel. I wonder how this is gonna work. It is on Despair Nem though. I guess that's a viable build, right? It's Despair Nem or Despair Will, I guess. Taking less damage from certain elements. I think I'll just go full on damage to be fair. I think I'll go more damage on everything. Ragdoll. Oof. I'm not happy with this Ragdoll. I do like Ragdolls that hit a lot harder. At least plus 1000, like 200 attack. I think it does more. Oliver. Okay. Ooh, come on. Why? Is it because you're so confident you're going first? I guess he just invested everything going first turn, right? Because if not, you're gonna get punished for this. But I understand if you're taking Oliver as a speed lead and you're taking all these first turn units and you're thinking that you're moving first, then makes sense. Van Cliff not being used but has a very fast Despair will set. Carlos. Okay. Yeah, if you kill something, this guy's gonna start going ham. Cassandra not being used. Moore, a counter Moore. Rage Will. Gideon not being used. Doman. Ooh, this is interesting. Oh, not being used. Okay. Because I know Domans are usually extremely fast. Rakuni. I don't know. I don't like these subpar resistance, not 100%. Just don't give res at all. And invest more in tankiness or speed. Because this is slow in Punisher and squishy in Punisher. It's just not good. Jessica. I even think this is not that great. Is it efficient? No, it's so inefficient. Only this one rune is over 200. Oh, 2 runes over 200. Everything else is mediocre. I don't like it. Lucia, again, not the build that I like. I like it to be faster and on 100 res. Or more tankier. Because it seems squishy to me. Aya seems squishy as well, not being used. Okay. Chandra not being used. Hey gang. Okay, so you actually invested on accuracy. I would make this just a HP percent or defense percent and go with skill 2 accuracy here. So you have around like 50% accuracy. I think it's enough. The longer Haging survives is more annoying with this passive, especially if you have units that give you some kind of immunity or buff where you could keep using his passive. Escher not being used. Warner. Oh, they reverted the freaking change. I didn't see this, but thank goodness they changed this. They gave it back. They gave back their name. The best thing they did. Kind of squishy though. Ragdoll, 100 res. Ugh. I don't like the build. Vile Seal. I don't think he's using SWOP. I think if he uses SWOP, he can find better builds. Parjana not being used. Sonya not being used. Okay, Volantis not being used. Jin Kazima, decent. I do like a Jin Kazima just runed up. Veronica not being used. Juno, oh my goodness, not being used. I wonder if these are not ruined because of the Automill being built. Like he was trying to build Automill on a certain build, so he had to take runes here and there. Layla seems a little slow. Crit rate. I do like Layla just being... I like Layla just being really tanky. It does look pretty efficient. Okay. Guess these runes are carrying it. Oh, these 3 runes. See, he has 1 more rune that's efficient. Reason why the stats look pretty stacked, but tanky is pretty low. Tankiness. Not being used. Ooh. Counter, but not being used. Miles too slow. Misty too slow. Chandra too weak and inefficient. This might be a problem of grinds and gems, or he's not using SWOP, because I think his runes were a little better than this. Annabelle not being used. Shazam don't use. I still think he's not that great in RTA. Zibala is probably something I would like to use if I had a fast team like this, because it's another unit that could contest first turn. Same with the Ethna, and maybe even put it in the Water Monkey if you want. Douglas, decent. And finally the Wind Monkey, which I think this is insane, but not that great of a build. I think it's inefficient still. Yeah, these 2 are bad, but these are semi-inefficient, close to 200, but nothing crazy. These 2 are bringing it down. Reason why the build doesn't look as great, but it is pretty fast. Overall, I think you have to use SWOP if you're not. To me, it looks like you're not. If you are, maybe do a whole re-rune again. You do have a lot of units runed up. It does look like you know what you want to play. Definitely first turn. I'm pretty sure the stuff up here, like the first 2 rows are, or 3 rows almost, are the main stuff that you use. And the stuff down here we saw were not being used a lot, missing runes. So if you know that you are running something like this, rune things accordingly. So like, what are you weak against? Probably people that's trying to outspeed you with a higher base speed unit. In that case, what can you do to counter it? Most likely something with like Hey Yang, because most first turn units are trying to strip your immunity first. If they're going cleave first turn, then what should you rune according to that? Something like well, Volantis is also good against the first turn that strips, right? Because he gains attack bar. The other part, maybe things like Nana. Yeah, Ragdoll. Make sure your Ragdoll's in your team so that if they move once and if they crit you, then you have a chance to cut in. Yeah, those are the stuff that you want to rune up with better runes so that they could perform well when they are picked out for those counter picks. More as well, if you think you're getting outsped, more is a good counter. Just make sure you're either pair up with Hey Gang, or you don't let the Water Monkey or Ethna type of stuff go through, because they'll just control more first turn. But I do think with this type of box, you could really play any type of gameplay that you want. Again, I think it's just all about prioritizing your runes, using it correctly, using SWOP to find the best builds. Overall, I do think his rune quality is good. I do think his box is great. He should easily be in the Punisher level, competing P3, G1. Swift runes are most likely there, his Val runes as well. If anything, it will be efficiency, so I would work on grinds and gems, trying to get those legend grinds, legend gems on some of the more premium runes that we've seen. For me, anything over 23 and that can be extremely efficient with the grind, with the gem, over a 200 score will be candidates to go for first, so that your builds can look a lot better. That was it for this review, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want account reviews like this, please join my Patreon. If you guys want account improvements, join my Discord, fill out the Google form, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.